Hey everyone. Hi, it's Kathy, and we're here on the last day of the Fall Writing Challenge. So thank you so much for joining today. I just am going to pull you up, or pull myself up here on the other computer so that I can make sure to see all of your comments. I'm very excited about today's live stream because it's really more of a workshop. So I have slides for you, and I hope that you will really enjoy. Okay, there I am live. Okay, it's a little clunky when you're looking at my face. So I'm going to go ahead and switch over to my slides to get started with the last day of the Fall Writing Challenge. So I'm going to have lots of opportunities for you to, oh, hold on. Let's do it like this. And I need to just do this and share my screen like that. There we go. Now you can see my little head in the corner. Okay, that's good. Nice. All right, y'all, here we go, getting started. So today, what we're really going to do is put together all the things that we've been working on during the Fall Writing Challenge into kind of like a bird's eye view of how to create what I'm calling a writing roadmap. So a writing roadmap is really kind of like a heuristic. It's just like a way to think about all the things that you need to put into place in order to get the result you want, which is to write and publish more. Okay, so hi everybody. Hi April. Hi Jenna. Hi Laurel. Thank you so much for joining. So today's workshop, we're going to be talking about 5 steps to a guilt-free academic publication plan. And the reason I say guilt-free is because really we spend so much time kind of guilting ourselves about the writing that we don't do. And that's why I'm calling this a guilt-free plan. Okay, so you're going to see why kind of as we go along. So first, if this is the first live that you're joining, which is totally cool, then I'm just going to introduce myself. I'm Kathy Mazak, and I'm a tenured full professor at the University of Puerto Rico in Mayagüez. This is a picture of me and baby. She's now 3. We still call her baby. It's totally the joke of our house because we say that she's going to be graduating from her master's degree, and we're going to be saying the baby graduated from her master's degree because she's always going to be the baby. And that's my from taken in my yard with a little view there of the ocean here in Puerto Rico. So I have 3 kids. That's the littlest one. The oldest one is 11, and I have an 8-year-old who's going to be 9 soon, and I have this little 3-year-old. So before we start the presentation, I know that Facebook is a really distraction-y place. So I know it's a little hard to concentrate, but one thing that you can do is if you're on Facebook watching, you can enlarge the video so it's the only thing you're looking at on Facebook. And if you're on your computer, you know, close your other tabs and spend about half an hour today really focusing in on your writing because you deserve it. You deserve to concentrate on one thing at a time, even if it's just for this, half an hour, 45 minutes that we're going to be together. So that's really important is giving your writing a little bit of focus, and as I say, giving your writing some love. Okay, so please stick around to the end. I'm going to try to make this 30 minutes. I'm going to show you how you can get my academic branding course for free at the end. So you're going to want to see that. Oops. There we go. And so here's the interactive part. Tell me in the comments, do you feel overwhelmed because you're being pulled in 1,000 directions? So go ahead and let me know in the comments if that sounds like you. I'm going to just check comments while I'm here. Hi from the Netherlands, Anna. Nice to see you. Yay. Okay, I'm going to keep going with these, but if you feel like you're being pulled in 1,000 directions, just give me a heck yes in the comments. Do you feel like you have this nagging feeling that you should be writing all the time, but you can't figure out how to fit it in? I mean, I think something that happens in academia, right, is that we feel like since technically all we really need is a laptop to be writing, then we could be doing it at any hour of the day that we're awake, and we probably should even be doing it in our sleep, right? So sometimes I feel like we can't relax because we feel like oh, we should be writing all the time, which is like kind of the tongue-in-cheek reason that my free Facebook group is called I Should Be Writing, right? So April says, I feel guilty when I'm not writing, even on the weekends. Yes. Okay. So that's huge, April. Like, I really want to see if maybe not today by the end of this presentation, but maybe that we can figure out how to get rid of that feeling for you. Like, that is a driving force behind what I'm going to present today, because I really don't want you to, on the weekends when you should be, you know, having your life, feeling like you should be writing or working on your academic work, because you need to rest, the brain needs to rest, and that's part of writing too. All right, so have you ever sat down to write and you just have no idea where to start? So like maybe you feel like, oh, I should be writing, I should be writing, I should be writing. You finally get to sit down to write and you have no plan. You're not sure what to work on, or maybe you know what you need to work on, but you just don't know what that first step is. So let me know if that sounds like a familiar feeling to you. Hi, Kate D. I feel like if I can be doing it, I should be doing it. Oh my gosh, exactly. And no, we don't want to feel that way. So that's why we're talking about this today. Okay, does this sound like you? You have heard, you have about 3 articles sitting around in your virtual drawer. 2 of them are half drafted, 3 new projects percolating in the back of your mind, but you don't have anything under review. So are you at this point where you have a bunch of almost done projects or half done projects, and then other projects that you want to do, but you haven't moved any of your projects to the submit stage, right? Like to the stuff under review. And this is what we call kind of like a not flowing publication pipeline. Things are clogged up in the beginning part. Jenna says, yes. Laurel says, I think I have too many ideas of where to start. Yes, that's a big problem and definitely a common thing. Okay, does this sound like you? When you finally do have some writing time blocked, something always comes up and derails your beautiful block of writing time. I know that for me as a mom, I just like had to let go of this idea that I was going to have big blocks of time. And that's one of the things I'm going to be talking with you about today. And if you signed up for the Fall Writing Challenge, you will have gotten the handout, but I'm going to show you some slides where, that I'll project the picture of the handout, so you won't be too lost if you don't have the handout, but we're going to be talking about this. Okay, and then maybe you are silently panicking because you know that tenure is looming and that you have to get your publications out. Or maybe you're pre-job and you know that you need to get a job, so you need to get some pubs out or whatever, or you want to move. You want to be more mobile, you want to get that tenure track job. And so you know that the publications have to come out, but everything else just keeps kind of invading the space, the mental space and the time when writing needs to get done. Yes, there always seems to be fires to put out, says Laurel. And I agree, fires to put out is a metaphor that I think many of us relate to. And also, like, I've just realized from being a mom that things become unpredictable really fast. And also, like, almost always in the moments when you're like, no, I really need to do this. And then, they call from school with a fever or whatever. So I just want you to know that you're in the right place if you want to be able to write more without feeling like you have to be on 24/7. Okay, super important. And you're also in the right place if you've tried working weekends and nights, but you still feel behind. Okay, so let's even forget the idea of just feeling guilty about not working on the weekends. Maybe you've even tried working on the weekends and you're like still not on top of things. So that's another problem that I hope we're going to solve today. And also, if you're ready to simplify your professional life so that you can write and publish more. So I call this putting writing at the center, and that's what we're talking about today in terms of when we create a writing roadmap, we put writing at the center. So what you will learn today, it's a little checklist. First, we're going to talk about how to write more in less time. We're going to talk about how to stop feeling so pulled. We're going to talk about how setting your focus is really the key to everything. And we're going to talk about how making a plan is about more than just finding time. Okay, so when people join my free Facebook group, the I Should Be Writing group, I ask them, what's your biggest obstacle to writing and publishing more? And almost everybody says time. And the other kind of popular things are other commitments or things like that, right? Like stuff that's taking up your time. So I want to talk to you today about how it's not just about finding time. And the example that I use is that you could be on sabbatical. And so you technically have, 40 hours a week where you're supposed to be writing, and people still don't get their writing done on sabbaticals. Okay, so it's not just time. It's not just time. So I just want to look at the comments. Yes. Kara has 3 kids, 4 and under. So unpredictable. Yeah, absolutely. Like, it's just a crapshoot, right? What could happen at any moment? And Kristen says, I feel like my need for a job has led me to feel like I'm writing from a place of desperation, and it sucks. Yes. Like, actually, I just did a blog post about that, about how like academia teaches us kind of to hate our writing, and we will not be successful if we continue to take that message from what academia is telling us about our writing. So that's an underlying theme of what we're going to talk about today. So let me talk just really briefly about my story. So that's me in this office. Like I said, I'm a mom of 3, and when I first graduated from my PhD program, I actually got my dream job, which is the job I have now at the University of Puerto Rico in Mayagüez. My husband, this was also his target school. We both got tenure track jobs. It took about a year, but it was like this ideal and beautiful and insanely wonderful situation. And I hit the ground here, and I was like, oh, holy crap, how am I going to get my writing done? I had this beautiful dissertation, which I was so proud of. I had gotten a Spencer Dissertation Fellowship and written this dissertation with all this Spencer support and all this stuff. And I was like, how am I going to publish this? I have all these new preps. I have all these students. I have all these demands on my time. And it really wasn't like until I had kids that I figured out, not all the kids, just the first one, the big one that you see in the picture. She is wonderful, but so needy of mommy's attention. And so really, like, that was what forced me to create some of the things that I'm going to teach you. Well, all the things I'm going to teach you today about how to get your writing done, because doing it at night and on the weekends was completely impossible because of needy, wonderful, but needy baby. So it made me kind of force me to do these things. So instead of feeling like that, like frazzled and all of, like you can't get anything done, what I want you to feel like is I want you to feel confident, calm, and collected. That's what I want for you. And that's what we're going to be talking about, the steps to implement this today. So how do we start? You might be asking yourself. So this is a little kind of high level, the bird's eye view of what I'm calling the writing roadmap. And here today we're going to talk about 5 steps. The first one is map your mission. And actually, if you were with me yesterday, this was the mission statement, right? We're going to do that. Like, I'm just going to show you the template for that again really fast. And if you've seen yesterday's video and written your mission statement and haven't posted it, then you can go ahead and post it today. We're going to talk about aligning your activities. I'm going to give you, with the worksheet, I'm going to give you a way that you can do that. We're going to talk about managing your time because, okay, all of these other pieces have to be in place, and also some time management tricks and tips and systems are really important. And speaking of systems, you need to develop a writing system, and we're going to talk about the one that I kind of most believe in today. And then we're going to talk about setting up your publication pipeline. All right, so as I mentioned before, the writing roadmap is a heuristic. It's a guide to walk you, to get you through adopting the necessary behaviors and making the appropriate decisions that will lead to you writing and publishing more. So think of it as, instead of like instead of thinking like, oh, we have to block all these big chunks of time, think of this as a series of adjustments and alignments that when we put it all together is going to lead to more publication. So yesterday we talked about the academic mission statement. And so if you missed that video, you can go back and have a look. But this is the core of this whole writing roadmap idea, is that you articulate a mission statement. And here's the template for it. I use methodologies, theoretical frames to study population, phenomenon, context in order to change, and you put there the change that you want to see in the world. So here's mine. I use ethnographic methods to study translanguaging in Puerto Rican university classrooms in order to normalize bilingual content learning and inform theories of bilingualism. Okay, so that's my mission statement. And if you have yours, go ahead and comment it in the chat. You might, we did this yesterday for those of you who joined yesterday, but in case you're joining new, you can go ahead and comment your mission statement in the chat. And then this is how we're going to use the mission statement, which is just as important as writing it as knowing how to use it. So your mission statement is the key to developing focus, saying no, and aligning all of your activities. Okay, so you need to write it out and hang it where you can see it, because this is going to be your guiding light to make the kinds of decisions that you're going to need to make from now on if you want to write and publish more. So now that we have a mission statement, I am going to talk about aligning your activities. So a little tough love. If you said yes to the question about feeling like you're being pulled in 1,000 directions, I just want to say that you actually are being pulled in 1,000 directions. So, this is like a little reality check. Like, are you doing too many things? Yes, you are doing too many things. Okay. So here's, it's a little bit of a painful exercise once you do it. And it's going to take you some time, which is why it's in the handout. But if you don't have the handout, you can use a piece of paper and have, or several pieces of paper, one for research, one for teaching, one for service. And what you're going to do is a giant activities brain dump. So yes, I want you to actually write down on paper all the things that you do in each of these areas, because I want you to see with your own eyes how many things you are actually doing. Okay, so this is like a little bit, this is going to take you half an hour, and you need your beverage of choice with you to do it. But basically, it's a whole list of all the activities you're doing in each area. And then what you're going to do is, for each activity, I want you to think, does the activity align with my mission statement? Okay, so again, a reality check of all these things that you're doing. How many of them are actually supporting what you say your mission is? Okay, super important. For the ones that don't support your mission, ask yourself, how can I make this align better with my mission? Are there some concrete actions I could take to make this fit? And if it doesn't fit, I want you to ask yourself, how can I cut this from my life? And I want you to commit to cutting these things that don't fit. All right, so that's an activity for you to do later today. Now I'm going to talk a little bit about the actual time management things. And I think one real big pain point for people is email. I know it's painful for me. So there's a couple of big ideas I want you to think about with email. One of the biggest complaints I hear is that people let their email take over their writing time. Okay, so writing email is writing, but not the kind of writing that you want to be doing. So, so a few things here. You need to kind of put yourself in the mental space where you understand that everything takes time. So if you open your email kind of automatically first thing in the morning, you don't have that in your calendar, like this is my email time, then you are already kind of setting yourself up to go into like a time warp, or like a sinkhole of time in your email. Remember, email is how work gets to us. So that's problematic, right? Like if you want to get new work activities every morning, then open your email first thing. But I'm going to suggest that you don't do that. In fact, I am going to say that you should turn off notifications, email notifications. And also, I want you to not open email first thing in the morning. And I really want you to think about teaching people what to expect from you in terms of turnaround time for email. Email is asynchronous, and you do not have to be, you don't have to immediately respond. And you really, if you do immediately respond, you're teaching people that you have no boundaries. And that is a really big problem. So instead, what I want you to do is kind of think about corralling your email into a certain time of day. And I'm going to suggest that that time is an after lunch time, unless after lunch is your most awake and wonderful time of day. I want to suggest that you push it towards like the end of your day, where you almost like can't put out the fires in the email, and you sit on them for a night before, the next day. So again, this works for most people. If you're a medical doctor, for example, and you need to be answering emails because somebody's life is in the balance, well then, this is not the plan for you. But I want you to consider, instead of checking your email first thing in the morning, to corral it to some time in the afternoon, like right after lunch, when you kind of can't think very clearly anyway, when you should be napping, right? you put your email there, and you block it on your calendar, because you need to see that it does take time. Does it take 5 hours a week? It probably would take more than 5 hours a week. So an hour a day, it sounds like a lot, and it is a lot. But that's probably what you need to manage your email. And I think it's better to admit that you need to do that than to keep not admitting it and going like, where did my day go? And where your day went was email. Okay, I just want to check comments, see if anybody has any questions. Lori, hi Lori, Noel. She's got her mission statement in here, so I'm just going to read it. I use qualitative methods to study how neoliberal education policies influence the experience of teachers and students in urban institutions in order to create a more socially just education system. That's great, and I think you need to come study Puerto Rico too, because that's happening right now. Jenna says, I love the idea of ignoring email for a while, but I'm worried someone important, like an advisor or professor, will need to get a hold of me and won't be able to. Jenna, that's a great question. So I think, though, that if you are on email all the time with notifications on, and a professor or an advisor emails you and you email back immediately, then you have taught that person that you are sitting around waiting for email to come to you. So what I want you to teach that person is that you have many things going on, including your academic work, right? And that you have a plan and a system for email, and you check email once a day or twice a day, if it has to be twice a day, but that you corral it. Think of that like putting a fence around it to certain times of day. You really, if somebody needs to get you for an emergency, they should text you or call you, right? There's other ways that are more immediate to get at somebody, and that's what you want to teach people. What are the ways to best get me? And because things are like emergencies for other people, that they're not real emergencies. And what happens is we react as though things are emergencies, and we drift away from our academic mission statement, and our real time that we need to be putting into our important projects about getting our message into the world gets fuzzied up and muddled up with other people's fake emergencies. And we don't want that, right? Yes, Jenna, good. Okay, Gina says, ugh, I remember feeling like that in my first trimester. Maybe you give yourself permission to get some things off your plate if possible. Yeah, absolutely. Yes. Okay, so let's talk about developing a writing system. So back to the themes we were talking about at the beginning of this presentation, you actually don't have to write all the time. And I'm going to, hopefully by the next 3 slides, I'm going to convince you about why. You're going to be more productive if you instead have a writing practice that involves small, focused, consistent writing sessions. Okay, so instead of thinking if I just had 8 hours a day, I would write for 8 hours a day. No, I want you to think I have certain hours of the day where I am at my best, and I'm going to use those for writing. So small, 1 hour, 2 hours, focused, your best writing times, and consistent. All right, so let's talk about that a little bit more. So in your handout, you have a little Tiger Time journal. So if you've heard me talk about Tiger Time, that's what this is about. And basically what I want you to do is I want you to be observant of the times of day that you feel the most energetic and focused. For me, these times of day are when I first get to work. So I can do more writing in terms of words per minute between 8 and 10 than I could ever do between 1 and 3. But everybody's different. So you need to figure out what is your time. And again, I'm using this phrase Tiger Time that comes from Amy Porterfield. She's an entrepreneur, and she talks about that as like your time when you're like, rawr, I could take over the world, right? And so you need to find out what that is for you. So the first step is to take 3 to 5 days and be aware of how you feel at different times during your workday. So you're going to use green on this calendar diary thing to mark the hours that you feel the most energetic and focused and that you could like keep going and keep going. You're going to use blue to mark the hours of the day when you feel like pretty darn good, but maybe you're starting to be like you have to take some breaks. You're going to use orange for the times of day where you keep switching browser tabs and checking Facebook and getting interrupted and interrupting yourself and standing up and getting water and going to the bathroom and drinking more coffee because you just aren't very focused. And then you're going to use red to highlight those times of day when you are absolutely zonked and you're not going to do anything. So for me, especially yesterday, oh my goodness, after 7:30 at night, I was trying to put the kids to bed and it was just like, somebody please take me away. I'm so exhausted. I can't be with these awake people anymore. And there would be no way that I could like write after they go to bed. It's just not my time. So you're going to write, when you do that reflective work for a few days, you're going to be able to write in your little handout your green and blue times and your orange and red times. And right now I'm going to tell you, I want you to plan writing sessions during green or blue times. And I want you to not write, like you're not allowed to write during your orange and red times. And here's the reason. If you're trying to write during your orange and red times, you're going to have that experience of writing 7 words and deleting 5. Like, you know how you've done that before, right? Where like, I just need to write this 100-word description. And you're like, I can't, like you can't get 100 words out even. Whereas other times you sit down and you're, there's 500 words of beautifulness, So rather than taking the tack of like, just write anything, what I want you to do is write with focus. Okay. And the way you're going to get focus is by writing during your Tiger Time, because what this does, like we've been talking about this week, is it sets up these positive feelings between you and your writing. So if your idea is like just, no, I must bang out 500 words of crappy writing every day, then the feeling that you have towards your writing is banging out crappy writing. Like that's not the feeling that I want you to have. I want you to feel inspired and joyful about your writing. Not going to happen every time, but I want to set you up for that kind of feeling. And we do that by writing during our Tiger Time. All right, do you see how this is kind of coming together with the stuff that we've talked about this week? And it's kind of like not one giant block of time. It's like a series of different kind of alignments and adjustments. So the last thing I want to talk about is setting up your publication pipeline. And I'm just going to be really brief here because we're already at a half an hour. But basically, publication pipelines are different for every field. So you have research in progress, writing, under review, revisions, and published on this graphic, which is in your handout. But this is a very generic pipeline. So you're going to need to tweak this for you. And then what you need to do is fill this out and see like where do you have your blocks? Do you have equal things in each box? Or do you have some things that are just like really stuck? And so between writing and under review, you got everything in research and progress and writing and nothing under review. This is like how you're going to start to visualize your pipeline. And then we always want to have a published category because we want to reward ourselves and remember all the things we completed. The brain remembers all the incomplete things. We needed to also remind the brain that we have completed things so we can feel happy about that. All right, just to recap now, what we talked about today, we talked about finding your focus by writing an academic mission statement. We talked about aligning your activities with that focus so that you can make better professional choices. We talked about managing your time by corralling your email. We talked about developing a writing system that takes advantage of your best writing energy. And we talked about setting up a publication pipeline so that you can map out your writing. So I hope that you learned today that, and during the course of this fall writing challenge, that writing more is not only about time. It's about focus. It's about lots of other alignments and adjustments. So it's your time to experience focus, clarity, and confidence about your writing. And it's your time to stop feeling frazzled, overwhelmed, and guilty about never getting to your writing projects and never being truly present in your off time, right? This is the guilt that we've been talking about. It's your time to write more with the guidance of a step-by-step system. So I want to introduce you to this concept of the Academic Women's Writing Roadmap in a course, okay? This is a 7-module online course that I've created that walks you through the writing roadmap so that you can write and publish more this year. So I've touched on 5 of the 7 parts of the writing roadmap. What we haven't talked about today is managing your writing mindset, which is a really big important piece, and mapping out your year, but those are parts of the course. So there's the beautiful course on the devices. This is basically the overview of all the pieces that I'm going to walk you through to get your writing in gear for this year, so that writing is at the center of your career. So here's what Elizabeth from Wash U had to say. She's about the course. She said, I really feel like I have not just tools for getting my important work done, but also a sense of empowerment and perspective about what matters to me. And this testimonial makes me giddy because that's the big picture, is like putting your writing and yourself and your message and your work at the center of what you're doing, instead of feeling this feeling of being pulled in a million directions and not really doing the passionate work that you are meant to be doing. So here's what you get in the course. There's a welcome module plus 7 core modules, which are the ones we lined out. All the modules have video trainings, plus there's a 30-page PDF workbook, and there's some bonuses that I'm going to tell you about as we go along here. But the most important thing is what you'll achieve. Like this lady here, she's so happy to be writing. You're going to feel confident and in control of your career. You're going to have the skills that you need to manage your day-to-day tasks. These are skills that nobody teaches you. Where do you learn these skills, right? Like you don't learn them in grad school. You have to learn them through professional development, and that's what the course is offering. And also, you'll achieve a concrete plan to write and publish more. So by the end of the course, you have a 1-year map, and you even have a 5-year map, which is a bonus. So today, let's see if I can move this thing out of the way. Yes, there we go. If you enroll in the course today, which is the first day that it's open for enrollment, you also get for free the Create Your Academic Brand course. And this is really kind of like a first step course that helps you really work to articulating your academic brand and figuring out the best places for you to target for publishing and presenting. And so you get that for free if you enroll today. And I'm just going to walk you through the modules of the course so you can see what all it's about. So in the first module is the welcome module. At the end of this one, you will know how to navigate the online course system and how to organize yourself for success in the course. There are 4 different completion plans. So I'm going to talk more about this in a bit, but basically, once you enroll in the course, you get access to all the modules. So you can work through them at your own speed. But what I do is I give you kind of like different ways you could do it. So if you want to do it in 2 weeks, you need to work, X number of hours a day, and you need to work on these modules day 1, day 2, day 3. I map it out like a little syllabus. So there's a 2-week version, a 3-week version, a 4-week, a 2-week version, a 4-week version, a 5-week version, and then there's the 6-week version, which is what we're doing all together if you enroll in the VIP level. So you'll be able to figure out what's your completion plan, print it out, hang it up in your office so you know what to do. So if one of the things you're thinking is, oh my God, there's no way I have time to take an online course, really, this is a self-paced course. You get access for the life of the course, so nobody's ever going to kick you out of it. And you can do it in an hour a week. The 6-week plan is like 1 to 2 hours a week for 6 weeks. So if you can find that amount of time, you're good to go. And you're creating time for yourself as you implement the things in the course. So the first module is mapping your mission. You already got a jump start on that because you mapped your mission statement. But for each of these modules, like writing the academic mission is one lesson, but there's 4 lessons in each module. So in here, we're going to be talking about the mapping your mission, which you did already, so you already have a little head start. But then we talk about how to use it, how to focus it, how you use it for decision making. And so we get more in depth about the different uses of the mission statement. In Module 2, we align our activities. And I gave you a little preview of the brain dump, but we go way more in depth in the course because I give you rubrics. We do the brain dump, and then you get rubrics for how to analyze the activities in your brain dump, like to see how close they are to your mission statement and to know how quittable they are. And then based on those scores that you give all your activities, I teach you different ways that you can start to eliminate things and align things. Okay, so it's very much more like handheld in this align your activities. Like today I just said, make your list and make a choice. But in the course, we go through how to make those choices because it's not really easy to quit stuff. So in this course, we go through it step by step so that it can be easy for you. Module 3 is managing your time. So I talked to you about email, but the course has more time management skills in it. We talk about how to deal with student interactions and students taking up a lot of time. We love them, but we want to make sure that we have energy to help the ones that really need our help. And also how to choose projects based on the time you have instead of your imaginary time you wish that you had. In Module 4, we talk about developing your writing system. And I've talked about the Tiger Time system, but we go into, in the course, we talk about 3 systems and then talk about how to work together, how those systems can work together to create a system, a comprehensive system for your writing that adjusts to the ebb and flow of your academic semester. That's super important. I don't believe in an everyday writing system. It never worked for me, and I don't think it works for a lot of people, and I think it can set you up to feel guilty. So instead, I teach 3 systems that work together. And also we talk about finishing projects that you start. In Module 5, we talk about mindset. Oh, this is so important, right? We talk about anxiety, guilt, overcoming those things, overcoming overwhelm, reimagining your audience to get rid of that anxiety and imposter syndrome, and getting past other blocks like money blocks that are keeping you from getting that job and promotion and your pay raise. In Module 6, we get really deep into setting up your publication pipeline. So we create a publication pipeline based on your specific situation in your field because it's different in different fields. We find and remove the blockages in your current pipeline, and we plan out your pipeline to avoid future blockages and keep your pubs flowing. And in Module 7, we take kind of everything that we learned in the course and we create a year-long map of how you're going to implement these things that you learned to write and publish more. So I also want to mention that there's the course, which includes all of those things, and plus a Facebook group for additional support. And there's also, though, the VIP version of the course, in which we are going to have a 6-week syllabus that we work through the course together over the course of 6 weeks, where I check in with you via email weekly. You also get in that package, you get a one-on-one coaching call with me. So we talk about your specific situation, and we map out together like your projects for the next year. And you also get the incredibly deep support of the Academic Women's Writing Collective. And this is my new membership site that's been up for about 2 months. And in the Academic Women's Writing Collective, we do co-writing as one of our strategies for focused writing. So we use a Zoom link and we write together. That has been a really helpful way of getting focus and accountability. You get assigned an accountability partner based on a survey that you take so that you have somebody to work with and to write with. We have our own social network, so it's not on Facebook, but it is a social network where people, in fact, my phone right now is blowing up with little messages from the people in the, because I have of course I have all the notifications turned on. You don't have to. And so people ask questions and get support from each other that way. I'm in there, and I also have a TA who works with me, Kate, and she helps manage that community and give more writing advice. So you get two people helping you out in there, me and Kate. And we have once a month, we have a workshop. So this month's workshop is about setting writing goals, and it's going to be the most in-depth thing I've ever done about setting writing goals. Last month's workshop was about co-authorship. And so we pick a theme every month, and I give a 30-minute workshop, and then we have 30 minutes of Q&A. Everything's recorded, so if you don't make things live, you can see them. But basically, that's the Academic Women's Writing Collective. It is super helpful, and bundled in with this VIP tier is a year of the Academic Women's Writing Collective. So some other bonuses you get. You get a bonus module 8, which is how to write a 5-year publication plan to meet your goals. That's kind of big picture. I love that kind of strategic, big picture, planning. If you enroll today, okay, so this is a very special offer just for people to enroll today. You get the academic branding course, okay, which is a course that has $97 value, and you get it for free as your free gift for participating in the challenge if you enroll today. So what's the investment in this? I'm blathering on about all the wonderful parts of it, and you might be thinking, what the heck is this going to cost? So a couple things I do want you to kind of get your mindset in the right place about spending money on your professional development, which I want to ask you, well, how much would it cost for you to not get tenure? I mean, we're talking about over the course of your life, hundreds of thousands of dollars, right? Or your promotion, or if you didn't get a job, we're talking about increasing your writing output and your happy feelings about writing, which is priceless, but getting that output to a level that you're going to get your promotion, your tenure, your job. And that is worth hundreds of thousands of dollars, right? But you can enroll in the course for the early bird price of $497. So we already have 3 people signed up for the course today. So I want to shout out to Roxanne and Edelina and Adrian, who signed up this morning. So I'm very excited to start working with you all in the Academic Women's Writing Roadmap. So just until Tuesday at 5 p.m. my time, you can enroll for $497 in the self-study tier. We also have a payment plan of $99 a month for 6 months. Or you can enroll in the VIP tier for $897 until Tuesday afternoon. After that, the price goes up by $100. So you save $100 by enrolling during the early bird period. So again, what's included in the VIP tier? We do this kind of 6-week syllabus together. We have weekly check-in emails. We have a one-on-one coaching call. We have 1 year, and you get 1 year in the Academic Women's Writing Collective, all bundled up as part of your super system of writing support. And there's a little picture of the things that you get. And the special fast action bonus for enrolling today, of course, is the academic branding course. So I want you to click the link in the description to enroll. You might have to scroll to the bottom. I'll go and paste it up at the top. But basically, I'm going to click through to enroll, and I'm going to show you what happens when you do that. Let's see. Okay, that's actually what the course looks like on the inside, but that's not what I wanted to show you. There it is. Okay, when you click the link, you're gonna see this, which is the enrollment page. And you'll see at the top, that's the countdown to the early bird pricing ending. And you can take a look at this and really read through each thing. I have all the stuff about the modules and everything in here. But if you're ready to enroll, I have a little video you can see. You click the Enroll Now button and you choose between the VIP tier and the self-study tier. So if we were to bundle up all the modules plus the Facebook group, the value would be over $700. But when you enroll early bird pricing, it's $497. And similarly, if we were to bundle all those things together and charge kind of the regular price for all the separate parts of the VIP tier, it would total over $1,200. The early bird pricing is $897. At the end of early bird, this goes up to $997 and $597. And so you can just make sure you see all the things that are in each plan. And there's also the option of payment plans. You can do a 2-payment plan for the early bird or a 6-payment plan for the self-study. So if you're going to enroll in the VIP, you click here, and you'll get bumped right here to the cart where you put your account information in, your payment information in, click the I agree to the terms of service, and enroll in the course. Once you do that, a couple things are going to happen. You're going to get a welcome email with some more information and the link to join the Facebook group, and then you'll get immediate access to the course. And here's what it looks like in Teachable, the course curriculum. These things are grayed out just because I've been clicking through them and tweaking things. But basically, all the modules are here in a really organized way, and everything you have access to immediately. So I think that's, kind of cool. All right, so I've taken up almost an hour of your time, so I just want to finish up my little presentation. There you go. So you'll get an email when you click through. You'll get the workbook. You'll be able to download the workbook. You can go join the Facebook group, see the modules. You'll get the Create Your Academic Brand course for free, but only if you enroll today. And another testimonial, Lena says, I'm astonished. I entered the Academic Women's Writing Roadmap, and I don't think I have felt better about my work in years. And Lena got tenure while she was in the program. So we were so excited to celebrate that with her. And Jeanette says, I was really motivated to finish my work, not only because it's low-hanging fruit, but also because it's a piece of writing that aligns perfectly with my mission statement. I have no doubt that my writing is contributing to the change that I want to see in the world. That is so wonderful, right? That's why we write a mission statement. All right, so early bird pricing ends Tuesday at 5. So make sure that you enroll before then. And I just want to answer any questions. Oh yeah, Laurel says, could you explain the timing of the 2-payment plan for VIP? Absolutely. So you, upon entering, you pay $449, and then a month later, you're automatically billed $449. So that it ends up being almost exactly, right? It ends up being $998 instead of or $898 instead of $897. But yeah, so the 2-pay for the VIP level is just chunked into two payments. If you have any other questions, you can go ahead and ask them. I have a few frequently asked questions that I'll talk to you about. So a lot of people are worried, like, oh no, how long will this course take? Because I'm already super busy. I talked about that a little bit at the start of talking about the course, but basically you have a bunch of options. If you want to sprint on the course, then you could spend 2 hours a day for 2 weeks and finish the course. If you want to do it in, excuse me, in 4 weeks, it won't take as long. You spend maybe, 2 days a week working 2 hours a day. And then if you want to do it in 6 weeks, we're talking 1.5 hours a week for 6 weeks. So, the videos are different lengths and things, and the modules are chunked out. Some of them take longer than others. They're not all the same amount of actual video time or actual doing things time. Like, for example, the The brain dump activity module takes the most time. So that's why I have basically syllabi for you, and you choose your syllabi, like, okay, I'm going to do the 2-week or the 4-week or the 6-week, and then that gives you a nice plan to follow. And what a lot of people do is they pick their plan, and then they go into the Facebook group and say, hey, who else is doing the 4-week plan? And then you make little accountability groups inside the Facebook group, and that has worked really well for people in the past. If you are thinking, oh, I'm a PhD student, is this course for me? What I have told PhD students in the past is that, first of all, it's better if you are comps or post comps, like the one it's going to be more helpful for you if you're writing. Okay, if you're writing your diss, I should say. So if you're in your first semester of your PhD, I would not say that this is a course for you. This is for advanced PhD students or ABDs. Some of it, won't be as applicable, but remember that you are getting this course for the life of the course. And so you can go back to it and do it again once you're in your tenure track job. But PhD students have found it to be super helpful in terms of getting their writing mindset correct so that they can write their diss, implementing writing systems, starting out their publication pipeline so that they hit the ground running and publishing off their diss. So yes, it is a good course for PhD students, but not first-year PhD students. Like, you want to be ABD or writing your diss somewhere in the second half of your PhD, finished with coursework, let's say. And then, can my university pay for this? Yes. In fact, so some different universities work different ways. If you have so some people pay for it and then get reimbursed with the receipt. If you have any trouble with your receipt, I can always resend it to you. Or, if anything happens there, that's no problem. There are some people who have, their department has funds for their personal development, so their secretary or administrative assistant in the department enrolls them, and that works very well too. And if you need a PO, okay, so if you would need to pay with a purchase order, I can provide you with a purchase order. The thing is, we need to get the ball rolling. If you want to do it, if you want to get the offer, like today's offer, or qualify for the early bird offer, then we need to get the ball rolling now. So the enrollment for the course is basically a week. So you have from today till Tuesday for early bird, and then Tuesday evening until Friday evening to enroll in the course, and then we close enrollment. So I know that universities take like a long time to do things, believe me, because I've been doing this now for a couple years and it takes a long time. And I can work with your university in whatever way possible, but we need to get the ball rolling like as fast as we can, because institutions are slow, and we want you to get started, Okay, let's see. Okay, cool. Yes, you can enroll in the collective independently. Thanks for dropping that link. Good job. Let's see if I click through to that, whether it works. Yep, that's the collective link. So for Jenna and Laurel, yes, the course is the writing collective, which is basically, I call it, like, the design of that is a membership program, because it's like a monthly membership. So every month, you can either pay month by month, which is $29 a month, or you can pay for the year. A lot of people who use institutional funds for the writing collective pay the year chunk. But anyway, that is also available, and thank you, Jenna, who dropped the link for the writing collective there. Good job. Laurel asked 2 more questions. Is the collective available even to non-course members? So yes. And what is the first date of the 6 weeks for the VIP? Good question. Oh, darn, I had it open. Where is it? Here, hold on. The first date for the 6 weeks of the VIP, I'll show you on the screen. I'm blocked from my own course. Sorry. This is just Teachable being weird with me. Okay. Okay, so I'm not going to pull it up here, but that's okay. So the first week is actually October 1. Okay, so I was going to show you on my screen, but I can't. Sorry about that. October 1. So basically there's like module 0, which is the welcome module, which is this one over here, where you just get the welcome and kind of the tour of the program. You join the Facebook group, you learn how to use the site, you download the workbook. So all of this will take you 20 minutes to do. I'm having people do that as they enroll over this next week. Okay, and then we start the 6 weeks. If you're going to do the VIP level and everybody goes together, then we start the 6 weeks. I'm looking at my calendar on the 1st of October. And so it runs through the 4 weeks of October plus the first week of November. Okay, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes, so just the way that the calendar's laid out. Okay, anyway, 6 weeks starting October 1st. That'll be, and in terms of like the 6-week thing, some people like to do things at their own pace. Other people like to be reminded and prodded slightly. So the 6-week version is the prodding version, okay? Even so, you could go a little faster or a little slower, but what you're going to get is email reminders every Monday of the 6 weeks saying, here's what we're doing this week. Here's what you should have done. Here's what you're doing this week, and asking you if you have any questions. So you get kind of email access to me as well. And for the self-study version, the place that you're getting kind of coaching would be inside of the Facebook group. So if you have a question, you can ask. But for the VIP people, it's a much more hands-on experience. You have the one-on-one call with me. We have the weekly emails of reminders. Plus, if you have individual needs, then you can email me and I can respond. You're welcome, Laurel. Yay. All right. Well, I've now been live for an hour. Oh my goodness. Yay. All right. So thanks everybody for all of your questions and for joining me today. I hope that this was super useful. And I hope that you really have a wonderful, wonderful day. So I'll see you later. Let me know if you have questions. Bye.